What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the Street Reporter, and a lot of people always be asking me what's some of the things that stood out to me in the drill culture. You know, I've been covering this shit for a while. I'm really like a real drill historian. I don't just pull out a phone and make up rumors and shit. I really got real sources in this shit for being involved in this for about 8 years. A lot of people always ask me to pinpoint things that kind of threw me off, that was surprising, that it gave me the wow factor in the drill culture. I can give you 4 things. Actually, it's a lot of them, but I want to keep this video kind of short, so we just going to pinpoint 4 things for right now. Maybe just make this a part 1. But one of the things, number 1, I'm going to say, studying the drill culture, things that kind of stood out to me, man, was CDAI and Rondo number 9 catching that murder case with that cab driver. Because all this time when I've been in the drill culture, I always thought that this was like the get back for L.A. Capone. For some reason, that's the way that the internet kind of portrayed it, that those guys got locked up for the get back of L.A. Capone. But when I looked into that shit, I didn't see any of that. I seen the altercation that happened earlier at a party somewhere around the White Sox Stadium. And I guess a fight, something happened earlier. Then they came back allegedly by the police and did what they did, is what the police saying. I didn't see anything linked to L.A. Capone. It looked like a party that, you know, something happened and then somebody came back to shoot the party up, and I guess the party was done and, you know, someone was on this block and looked like one of those guys and that shit just happened. That's what it looked like when I looked into the paperwork. But remember, this is all alleged by the police because Rondo and CDAI is still claiming their innocence. And then for Rondo to be 19 years old when this crime happened, I want to be honest with you, and I don't want to sound stupid because I'm sure the family of Javon Boyd, that's the cab driver who lost his life, probably feel like those guys should be locked up forever and we don't want them niggas home. They murderers, they killers. So I understand that. But I got to be honest by being truth teller. I done seen guys commit murders and be part of murders and shit like that and get 20 years, 25 years. Some even done got like murder 2, reckless homicide, or whatever the fuck. For a guy to be 19 years to give him damn near 40 years. I'm not gonna lie, I think that is pretty extreme, you know. I'm not gonna lie, he was pointed out in the eye lineup by some of his friends. But he, you know, that just threw me off, to be honest with you. But 40 years, especially when he's 19 years old, to be living with a decision that he made as a teenager, to be living with this shit at 50 and 60 is just amazing to me, you know. But, you know, they say you do the crime, you got to do the time, man. So it's kind of crazy, and it leaves me confused because one moment it's like you want to be like Free Rondo, then the next moment you want to be like Black Lives Matter. So it is kind of confusing, man, but I hope that young brother keep his head up and hopefully he finds something with his appeal. I'm not here to judge. There's somebody upstairs who's going to do that later. So that's one of the things that stood out to me. Another thing that stood out to me that really had me with like the wow factor was ZACKTV losing his life, you know. I seen ZACKTV creep through all the ghetto neighborhoods. I seen him roll through all the most dangerous neighborhoods in the world and then end up losing his life in probably the safest neighborhood in Chicago. So that shit just threw me all the way off. That's why I always felt like that wasn't meant for that homie, you know. Not sure what he had in his car, who he had in his car, who he was trying to save at the moment. Maybe somebody got an altercation. He was like, come on with me, y'all, I got y'all. I don't know. But I know his death kind of shocked me because, you know, we just didn't see that kind of shit happening to him. You know, that threw all us off. And then especially the no justice for him. I don't really like that. You know, I think everybody should be putting up justice for Jack every day, even right now. You know, he made a lot of the drill culture. A lot of people credit the rappers, Dro, you know, Pac-Man, King Louis, you know, Billionaire Black, these rappers with the drill culture. But shit, some people credit Zach with that shit. He might ain't create the flow, but he created the media of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Stop saying academics did this shit. He didn't do this shit. He copied off of ZACKTV. Act just had a bigger platform. You understand what I'm saying? Let's get this shit right. The next thing that kind of threw me off, that stood out to me, in this drill culture, following the drill culture. You know, it's a lot of things that I could pinpoint, but these are some things that just gave me like the wow. The biggest shock factor was Melly, 051 Melly losing his life. Because you got to understand, one of his close friends was Mubu Crump. Mubu Crump lost his life at a house party. So to find out that Melly lost his life at a house party later was like, wow, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Stay the fuck out those house parties. Those ain't the places to be, man. We all done seen some of our biggest legends lose their life in that shit. So I think that's something we want to stay away. That shocked me. Now, the fact that he lost his life didn't shock me because he was one of the guys who was famous in the drill culture who didn't have rap songs. So if you famous in the drill culture and you don't got rap songs, or you ain't blogging, or you ain't making beats, and you ain't doing the fashion, you ain't doing none, then you probably known for this. You know, and it's a bad thing to be known for famously. You know, because when you known for this, you known for the background. When anybody get involved with you, anybody get in any beef with you, they gonna handle you like this because they know you coming back like this, you know? So, and the next thing that threw me off, and it's not the last thing, but this is the last thing I'm gonna speak on. It's a lot of things, but this one thing I'm just gonna speak on to end this video, and we're gonna call this part one. You feel me? We're gonna call this shit part one because there's a lot of things that stood out. But I'm gonna tell you, the thing that threw me off, right? KingVon losing his life. That threw me off. I didn't like it, you know, because I want to be honest with you, and I done said it plenty of times. This guy's not Hollywood. This guy don't come from California. He not used to that shit, man. He not an actor. This is a street nigga. Come from one of the most hardest communities in Chicago. He's been in prison. He's been in jail most of his life. He beat a murder case, got out of jail, then was back on an attempted murder case with Lil Durk, and he on the street shit. He dissing all the gang members. This is a street dude. He don't know shit about Hollywood. He had no idea that if he punches a famous rapper, that someone might not like that. You know? I don't know if he realized that, man. I don't know if he realized he wasn't the only tough guy, man. Tim had love for Quando. You know? I think he might have underestimated the love they might have had for Quando, you know? But I do think, you know, in the midst of that, though, while everybody talking about this gang shit, this gun shit, this sliding shit, the 30 shit, he came with the knuckles, man. On some real shit, he came with the knuckles, man. And a motherfucker couldn't take the knuckles. I understand that, man. So I think we got to get KingVon some of that because he came with the knuckles, man. We got to give him some respect for that, man, because y'all say Chicago niggas stay with the guns and they don't give a fuck about lives. But when he came with the knuckles, somebody took his life. Now, you might understand why he come with the, you understand what I'm saying? Because when he didn't come with the, a motherfucker took his life, you know? So this shit be backwards out here, man. I'm not advocating the guns at all, but I'm just saying that's what I seen. So those are some of the things that kind of stood out to me in the drill culture, man. It's a lot more things I kind of want to speak on, like KI and a lot more things, but that's the one thing, you know, the 4 things that stood out to me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm going to be giving you a part 4 because there's a lot more things, like interviewing 13 rappers who were shot and killed in Chicago. You know, sometimes it be hard for me to sleep knowing I done talked to 13 people who ain't here no more, to be honest with you, man. But that is what it is. It's the homie Truth Teller, the street reporter. I appreciate the love.